episode 1118 of FloWrestling Radio Live, another very special edition. I'm your host, Christian Piles, live from Austin, Texas. To my right, JD, or is it JV, Raider? We may find out on this episode. To the left, John Kozak. To the left, Tyler Meisinger. And joining us from California, Mr. Fast Twitch himself. He's here with a big announcement to make. AJ Ferrari, how are you?
Excited. I know a lot of people have supported me along this journey. It's just been a roller coaster. I'm so excited for today, man. It was a big decision for me, for my family, and I'm just excited to announce it and be done.
Absolutely. Before we get to the announcement, JD, just talk about the week or two since NCAAs, what it's been like since you entered the portal, and how you went about. What were your top priorities as you were looking for a new home?
Well, you know, first things first, I just want to thank head coach Luke Smith and assistant coach Ernest James of Cal State Bakersfield. You know, not a lot of coaches are very supportive and really actually give you input when you hit the transfer portal. You know, that just shows their character, shows the men that they are, and the way they walk with integrity. And obviously, they wanted me to stay. They care about me. But, yeah, they just supported me, and they actually helped me a lot along this journey, even talking to schools, talking to coaches, really seeing which one's going to be the best fit for me. So, yeah, I just want to give first things first, a big thank you to them. And then secondly, thank you to all the coaches that have reached out to me and recruited me, and all the athletic directors that really went all in on me, telling me just what these universities had to offer. You know, it was a really hard decision, and I'm just grateful for all the opportunities that were put in front of me. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say. But again, yeah, it's a big decision. Flying out to all these different schools, you know, it's kind of hard because a lot of schools, as you guys know, can kind of put on a good, how do I put this? They can put on a good show for a couple of days, you know, and then all of a sudden you get there and it's not that, you know. So really for me, it was like praying about it, talking to my dad, my mom, my family, you know, those that are going to give me the input. And then another thing, too, I always tell wrestlers when you're on these official visits, talk to the athletes. Don't just talk to the coaches. Talk to all the people around, because they're going to be honest with you. And don't talk to necessarily the starters, too. Talk to the backups. Talk to all the guys to see how is everybody treated. You know, how is this program as a whole, you know. So, yeah, but it was a fun experience, as always. I enjoyed it. But, yeah, it's been amazing. You know, I had about, I'd say 20, 30 schools I narrowed it down to. I mean, it was crazy. It was bombarding. Like, that's why I kind of sent everybody to my dad, because I'm still in the middle of school. I got, like, finals coming up. I got exams. So I was, like, kind of sending everybody my dad's way and then narrowing it down from there and talking to the coaches. And I narrowed it down to 8 schools, as you guys saw. And then just had to pray about it. And then, yeah, it was a hard decision. You know, a lot of ups and downs and seeing things. But it was very clear, and the Lord made it very clear to me.
Awesome. Well, I think the anticipation is killing our listeners. Everyone wants to know, AJ, and then we could talk about it afterwards. But what is the decision? Where are you going to be wrestling next year?
Well, I think it was a big decision. And, again, it was hard. But thank you to everyone. But after all comes, you know, in the end, I would like to, you know, announce my commitment to Penn State University to move up to the heavyweight division.
Really?
So I'm going to be moving up to heavyweight. I'm going to be going to Penn State, going to State College in May to June. So it's a big decision, but yeah.
Is this true?
I know people think that UNC was my last visit, but I've already visited the other programs, so.
You're going to Penn State, AJ. That is unbelievable.
Are you guys shocked?
I am shocked.
Are you guys shocked?
I'm 100% shocked. I'm 100% shocked. I really am. And I just watched 2 weeks ago. I watched Wyatt Hendrickson beat Gable Steveson, and I'm still.
You know what? Listen, you know what? Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going back to Iowa to go wrestle with my brother. Come on, we all know the answer to that. That's where I'm headed.
Where are you going,
I'm going
AJ?
back to Iowa to wrestle with my brother.
You're driving people crazy.
Where do you guys want me to go?
You know what? I want you to go to a place that's going to be best for you, that's going to help you. I've loved watching your journey this year, the road to redemption. Everyone loves a comeback story, and I want to see you continue on that trajectory, not just in wrestling, but in life. That's honestly, if you're asking me, it's not a place, it's what's the place for you. And I don't know that
Right. Well,
answer.
I do know the answer, and I'm going to tell you right now where I am going. But the biggest thing for me was the culture. Out of all these official visits that I took, when went on my official visit with this college, I was there. They had a fire going on, and I saw the culture there. Not just the culture of camaraderie and connection, but I didn't see a single wrestler drinking alcohol. I didn't see a single wrestler doing the wrong things. We went out to a bar for like 10 minutes just to see the town. Nobody was drinking. All the coaches live a clean, godly lifestyle. And that was number one for me. For me, not only to continue my growth, obviously in wrestling, but most importantly in my growth towards Christ and being around the right people, that I can create relationships with long term. Can I see myself having friendships with these guys? That was huge. All the schools were great. And obviously I had amazing universities to go to all these different schools. But in the end, that's what separated it. And now I would like to officially announce my commitment. This is my official commitment to the University of North Carolina. That's my official commitment. And that's my final say.
Well, congratulations, AJ, Coach Rob Cole and company. Great choice, obviously. Great school with an emerging wrestling program. You talked a little bit about what separated UNC, but now that the announcement is officially out there, what else was it about UNC? I know training partners were a big thing you've talked about a lot, facilities and the entire package. So what was it that also separated UNC?
No, 100%. Just what you said, the training partners, the facilities, and the coaches being, again, like I said, number one, they're all strong Christian believers, and they have the fruit of that. They show those fruits. They're good people. They live the lifestyle that I aspire to live. They're great people, and I just really respect them. And then on top of that, the only coach ever to coach 4-time national champions, two of them, is Rob Cole. The only exception to that is Cale Sanderson. Rob Cole coached Kyle Dake, as you guys know, and he coached Yanni, and then the only other head coach to ever do that is Cale Sanderson, coaching Aaron Brooks and then coaching Carter. So that just shows that he, has a culture of, finding guys to reach their highest level. I talked on the phone with Kyle Dake. He gave me some input in this. I talked to a lot of different wrestlers that wrestled for different programs, and it was a very hard decision, as I said. But then that, with the combination of, the biggest thing for me was like, I feel like being at UNC, they can take me to the next level in all areas of my wrestling to eventually not only have me win a national championship, as I have already won, but win the Hodge, and dominate and really show that I've taken my wrestling to the next level. Again, having those clash of styles is huge for me. Having, Coach Tony Ramos from Iowa, a fellow Paisan, fellow Italian, 75% Italian,
That's big.
That's big, But I'm saying from Iowa, he has that hand fighter, that Iowa style. And then you got Vincenzo Joseph, Penn State, one of the greatest middleweights, 165-pounders ever. Another Paisan, another Italian American. So
Everything's coming up, AJ.
so that was always awesome. And again, like I said, great, strong men of the Lord, and actions speak louder than words. They show that. And I can just tell, out of every single school, they were the most fired up, and they were all in. They were like, for me, regardless of everything else, it's like, where do I feel like I can continue to grow exponentially in who I am as a person, accomplish my goals, and then on top of that, create those relationships beyond wrestling. Eventually wrestling's going to end for all of us, but I don't want to just wrestle with these guys and then, oh, that's it, see you later. I want to have relationships outside of that. So that was really key. And then on top of that technique aspect, as I said, Tony Ramos having that Iowa style, Virginia Joseph having that Penn State wrestling, high wrestling IQ, and then all the other coaches, Coach Enoch, world-class technician, and he's the guy my size,
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's just so much to, brag about. Coach Ben Darmstadt, he's just so good on top, from the top position, top bottom, and that's going to help me, get those pins, get those falls, and take my wrestling to the next level.
Awesome. So a question, yes, heavyweight or 97? What's the plan?
I don't know about that. It's going to be hard. I'm pretty big right now. I'm about like 225 right now.
Dang.
So it's a little bit early to say what weight class I go. I mean, could I definitely go heavyweight? For sure. And I'm not gonna lie, 197 this year was definitely a struggle to make. But yeah, pray about it. Talk to my dad. It's a big decision, and like I said, I think that the coaching staff will help lead that decision, help guide me, and most importantly, the Lord will guide me, and then my Father will help, and then at the end of the day, I'll make the decision. And either way, I feel confident that I can go out there and dominate, especially with this new coaching staff helping me with Ben Darmstadt. I was watching some of his stuff. I mean, his technique is just so high level. Just some of his stuff online I was watching, and just a lot of these guys have so many different styles of world class wrestling. I think all these coaches bring something to the table. And again, like I said, there's a lot of upperweight coaches. All those guys around my weight. Coach Enoch around my weight. Vincenzo, he's big right now, and still in shape, about 190 around my weight. All these dudes, Ben around my weight. So that's just for me exciting. And like I said too, Coach Rob Cole, one thing that I respect out of him is that two things. He's a man of his word. Everything that I've heard from him is that whatever he says, he does, and he never over promises. A lot of people, I'm not going to say who, but I took an official visit back in high school, and a coach told me, you and your family can go drive up, and we'll reimburse you for you driving up with your family. Normally you fly out, but I want my brothers to come. My dad spent over $1,000 on a rental, and we didn't get reimbursed. So it's not that I let go, I don't care, but it's like he's a man of his word. He has character and integrity, and then on top of that, he has balls. He's not afraid to stand up for what's right, even when people are giving him pushback for it. And that is huge. That is respectable as a man to man.
Yeah.
So
Rob Cole is truly one of the best in the business. There's no question about that, AJ. His resume it's up there with some of the best coaches in America. I have to ask, what is sort of next for you competition-wise? You've talked about freestyle. You said, hey, how healthy am I going to be? That was a big question. Now that the dust is settled on the NCAA tournament, have you thought more about freestyle? Would you potentially be wrestling in the U.S. Open in April?
I haven't really totally locked in on that yet. Really, to be honest with you, I've been caught up on just doing my schoolwork and taking care of that, and then taking these official visits and making this big decision. So that was huge for me, to get this done, make this decision, and just focus on my schoolwork. And after today, I'll probably look towards that decision and start making that decision. But yeah, for me, I have to also remember I've taken 2-3 years off the mat. So there's the biggest thing for me was my timing. Precision over power, timing over speed. I didn't have that precision, and I have that timing this NCAA tournament. So I'm working this offseason to really work on my timing. That way I can go out there and kind of make it, look effortless. It was hard, not having as many resources and partners. But I think the biggest thing for Bakersfield is just like the song says, I came here looking for something, and I was like, man, I really got what I needed out of Bakersfield. Bakersfield gave me a place for me to grow, most importantly, in who I am as a person, in my faith, and then just maturing it and allowing it to be complete. And just big shout out to the people that helped me along this journey. It's been a big one, and I'm just grateful to God that God has continued to help me and led me in the right direction. I think that it was hard. A lot of people get pulled in the wrong ways, and I think you need to surround yourself with people that, as it says in the Bible, iron sharpens iron. And that's huge, even outside of wrestling. Living the right lifestyle, and I think UNC has that environment, and they have a culture that is unmatched. They just haven't had the talent yet. But they haven't sacrificed talent for people with good character. A lot of programs will bring in these guys that are amazing talents that are out partying, drinking, not living a clean lifestyle, and they don't have any of that. I didn't see a single guy on the team, and everybody, and I met almost all their guys doing that, and that out of every single official visit I've ever been on, I've never seen it. First time ever. So that was, again, the biggest factor. Whenever I said that, it was like, man, I'm starting to really feel this is the place, because I feel myself fitting in. I feel these guys are living that lifestyle.
Awesome. Well, Chapel Hill is also a beautiful place, as you know. We Tyler put something in the chat here, and then we'll let you go, because I know you and Bray are gonna catch up on Instagram Live. But we asked the people, will AJ deadlift 685 pounds this offseason? And 81% said yes. So the people believe in you, AJ. Is that a goal for you to get to that 685 benchmark?
Well, my goal, well, everybody knows my goal in high school was 700. So 700 is the goal, but I'll definitely try to hit 685. 685.
There you go.
People only say it's 10 pounds more than 675, but I don't think anybody really understands. When you're lifting that heavy, 10 pounds is a lot.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, cool. AJ, man, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing this moment with us. We're excited for you and UNC and wish you nothing but the best. And yeah, anything else before we let you go? Get with David Bray?
No, I just want to say that I'm excited. I cannot wait. And on top of that, JD Raider is no more JV. He's JD, so he's back. And,
I'm so back.
Wow.
I am so back. Hey, AJ.
Yeah.
I would never say
Yeah.
it, but many people are saying I did inspire you to grow the mustache. Can you confirm from one mustache man to another?
The mustache kind of honestly was like a it was inspired by different reasons. To be honest, I was actually inspired because my girlfriend at the time did not like my mustache, so she was actually making
spite
she was
mustache.
actually it was actually a spite mustache. Not even joking. She was angry at me for something, and I don't know what it was. We got in an argument, and she said, "Shave your mustache. I don't like the way it looks." And then I just kept growing it out and growing it out and growing it. This is a little while ago. This is maybe like 6 months ago, a year ago, and so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna keep growing it out.
Hell yeah. Hey, I see you're rocking the Versace jeans hoodie, but you got some bling on too. Let's see the bling. The
Right.
Oh, snap.
I like
the
Versace.
jumpsuit.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Look at the embroidery.
Yep.
And you got some watches.
Yes, sir.
Got a lot of nice jewelry.
14 karat gold. Yeah. I love yellow gold. Yellow gold's my thing. It looks good when you have the nice Italian skin pigment. I need to get in the sun though, to be honest. I have not been in the sun enough.
Get your
Out
GTL
in
on.
Bakersfield. Yeah. Every day I ground, but I haven't had that much time. Like I said, I've been meeting with professors. I've been doing a lot of stuff and just dealing with this decision. It was very, very hard. And a big, big thank you to everyone that helped me. And most importantly, my parents and my father, AJ Ferrari Sr., for helping me. You know, he helped me a lot, helping navigate through the situation. And again, regardless of any other factors, a lot of guys transfer for other reasons. It was more than any of that. It was, the people, the culture, and where I feel that I can win and dominate. And I feel like these coaches are all in on creating a culture of now winning, with the right people.
Awesome, AJ.
Hey, last question. You've been rocking the double birds, the Bakersfield birds all year. What's going to be the move with the Tar Heels? Have you thought about it?
I haven't really thought about it in that depth, but Coach Rob Cole and Coach Tony Ramos had a couple ideas. So you guys will see them. Actually, we did them on the official visit, so you're gonna see it whenever I do it. But I think we're gonna do probably the splits and then do the double C's for North Carolina.
Okay. Got it. So no more double birds for the nerds. I thought it'd
No
be
more
like
double
double
birds
rams
for
for
the
the
nerds.
fans, maybe. But man, that's awesome. Appreciate you sharing that and just the decision, AJ. And we'll let you get back to your day. Good luck with finals and finishing up school. That's obviously a big priority. And best of luck at UNC. And thanks again.
Yes, sir. Look forward to it. And then David's going to be calling me right on Flow.
Yep, that's right. Yep, look for that. He's going to go live on Instagram. So we'll see you on there.
All right.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. And I look forward to this next wrestling season, man. It's going to be really, really electric. I think we had some breakthrough performances, man. What an NCAA tournament. What an NCAA season. So many ups and downs. Crazy. I mean, you see guys having breakthrough performances and you see guys like not having any performance at NCAAs. I saw some crazy things happen.
I know. It was unbelievable. It was a crazy, crazy tournament. Can't wait for next year already. It's going to be unbelievable, and you're going to be a big part of that, AJ. So thank you, and have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Take care, guys. See you, Christian. Bye,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye, AJ. There you go. In a short period of time, I go from Christina back to Christian, from JV to JD. It's a full circle moment. All right. Thanks, AJ. See ya. All right. Fun stuff.
Yo, he got you good.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I mean, we can watch the
Well,
tape.
okay. Well, honestly, I was like, "What's happening?"
Are you serious? Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
I did not. Okay, listen.
He didn't,
how about this?
he didn't convince you, but he got you.
No. I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do because I know
That is getting you.
No. If I would have been like, "Oh wow, congrats, AJ, you're going to Penn State," then that would have been a got. I wasn't tricked.
So tell us what's going through your mind then at that moment.
Got pranked, dude. Get pranked.
I'm just like looking.
pranked.
I'm just waiting. Well, you heard me. Just wait. I'm like, keep going, and he's got this serious look on his face. But it was a different kind of look. It was a different sort of. I was like, let me wait. And then when he just let it hang there, I was like, okay. I was like, I felt myself get flushed. I was like, oh man, I wasn't ready for this. Then he said the Iowa thing. I was like, okay, all right. When he said Iowa, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the initial, I
He
was
even
like,
tossed in UNC in the first part too.
I know. And that's I mean, my mind was just moving all over the place. But
Man, I love that. I love
funny.
that he kind of used, the news has been a little bit out there,
bit out
right?
there.
And so he's like, oh, throw a little curveball at some
Yeah.
people. I love that he, in classic AJ Ferrari fashion,
Yeah.
he made it his own.
he made
right?
it his own. He
Yeah.
absolutely did.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's funny. Seems like she's doing good.
Yeah, this was when Rob Cole announced he was going to North Carolina. Not that he has done bad or anything, but I was expecting maybe a little bit more of a splash, like immediately. And he's only been there 2 years.
Yeah, it's just finished his second season.
Just finished his second season. But this is kind of like a splash I was expecting out of Rob Cole. Or there is no like really much bigger splash. But, I think things are going to start trending upwards for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I think they had to. I think they were starting at the ground floor
Right.
there more than I think people realize. So they had to build up different levels of funding before they could get to this point where they could get an AJ Ferrari. But Coach Cole's a builder, man, and so I think they're going to continue to do really well. I think they're going to do better and better as things. Now it's interesting. The Lachlan thing is, they're going to try to keep him. If he stays or not, it still remains to be seen. But yeah, but definitely a big get for UNC.
Potentially big get, literally at heavyweight.
I think he's going 97, but it sounds like maybe it's.
I feel like he'll go 97, right?
Yeah, no one wants to even think about that cut because you say 197 to AJ, it's like you just think about.
Although
that whole season he was
heavyweight AJ might be deadlifting 700 pounds.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It depends on the priority here.
Yep.
And honestly, you look at heavyweight, like he might be my pick to win either. I don't know. Josh Barr's such a savage, but at heavyweight, you've got Tegadali's back. Younger, who he's beaten.
Trumbull
is back. Trumbull. It's a bunch of bumped up 97s, and Tay, right? And Keeter's having surgery, and even that feels like a winnable match for AJ. So I don't know. I think he'd be squarely in the title contending. I think what I would say is I think there are more heavyweights that could beat AJ than there are 97s. Right. But I don't know that means he's more or less likely to win one of those. You know what I mean?
Right. Like the top end talent is probably a little bit better at 97.
Like how much better is Josh Barr going to get? Probably in a year. Probably a lot. Look at how much better he went from April of 24 to really November.
Yeah.
That was when
getting whooped by Sinclair at the Open.
Yeah.
To splitting with him to making the national finals.
And then he was a U20 medalist too.
And so he was hurt at nationals too, right?
Yes. He was right there to win. So yeah. Anyway, Josh Barr Radio Live, but yeah, he's a beast. So exciting stuff. A lot to talk about with. Well, there's more portal stuff happening, right?
There's never not portal stuff.
It's just not stopping anytime soon.
I think the biggest news after the show, Zack Ryder announced he is officially going to Oklahoma State. That was widely speculated, obviously, with the connection to David Taylor, the fit, all the things we talked about on last show. But now it's official.
It's officially official.
Do you like the fit?
I do. I think it's good for Rocco, or that creates some friction there. But now he comes to Oklahoma State. Zach back with David, where he spent his senior year at the M2 Training Center. So there's some familiarity there. It's not the most seamless lineup fit, with Braden Thompson there, but they're both blue chip, high, who's number one wrestlers, right? But it feels like right now Zach Ryder is in the pole position to take that spot, 184. That would be my bet and my guess. And I think them pursuing Zach maybe suggests that as well. Maybe not, but that's my read.
I need Braden Thompson to Ohio State now.
That would be kind of funny.
The full circle.
Don't rule out anything, but
Three-way trade.
Yep. But for maybe Braden wrestles off against Facundo at 74. He was a national qualifier at 74 last year, so maybe he looks there. But for Ryder, I think it makes a ton of sense, and I think he's a big impact guy. I mean, this is not what Penn State wanted to happen. They did not want to lose Zach Ryder. No way, no how. So it can't be spun, and the fans may try to spin it, but it's not good. It's not going to hurt them in any way, measurably, because they're still the best team by so far, and they're going to do really well at 184 with Rocco. But you got a 4-year guy with Zach. Guy's got 4 years of eligibility remaining, and worst case is him going to the emerging threat, which is Oklahoma State. And the Penn State versus Oklahoma State, the David versus Cale thing, it seems like gloves are going to be coming off if they're not already off between those two. And whatever that means tangibly, I'm not as sure, but it's a different era for those two in their relationship, it seems.
It's already. Is it the new most fun rivalry in college wrestling? Off-season rivalry. Because they don't compete on the mat.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's what a lot of people are talking about is like this, you want to see this duel. I mean, it's the number one duel.
Because in addition to the highest quality wrestling, there's also like off the mat beef or storylines, maybe I should say.
Yeah, just, David leaving Penn State, going against Penn State, and like this is a duel. One match can change it, right? They would be competitive in a duel. In a tournament, they're not. I don't think they're ready to probably compete. Maybe, I don't know. Feels like more help's on the way, but it's the duel that everyone wants to see the most, and I don't know if we will. I mean, right now, I think they wrestled. I think Penn State and Oklahoma State wrestled like 3 or 4 individual matches against each other this year. It was like Dean versus Levi, Wyatt versus Greg, and then I think
Mitchell beat Amin.
Mitchell beat Amin
at NCAAs.
I think that was it. So they had three total matches. So I'd like to see 10. That would be fire.
Why did Iowa and Oklahoma State start dueling each other way back when? Was it just because they were the two best and they wanted to start doing that, or?
Yeah, just kind of like just a tradition that started. I don't even know how long ago. A very long time ago. There may have been 1 year in like the last 20 years where they didn't duel for some reason, but yeah, they basically wrestle every year.
It'd be cool to have a tradition like that with Penn State involved.
Absolutely.
Paycom. Let's make them an offer. Let's make them an offer they can't refuse. Okay.
Well, I mean, they're having a freaking $1 million.
I know.
Dual tournament, so that would be. But I think.
Is that a refusable offer?
Yeah. when you're Cale Sanderson and you're Penn State, like everything is going through. Does it help me win NCAAs as a team? That is what they have the fortune of being able to just pass everything through that filter. Does it help us if we wrestle Oklahoma State now? If you thought it did, I think they would. And I just don't think they're likely to conclude that. Which is, for fans, it's a bummer. For Penn State, it's working. They've broken the record the last 2 years. It's tough to...
Might do it again next year.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it feels like they really could. Now, losing 30 points between Carter and Greg is going to be tough, more than 30. But they've got more than capable help coming.
Someone in the chat also mentioned that K-Sac beat Caleb Fish at NCAAs.
That's right.
So that's another Penn State.
4. So we had 4. We had 4/10 of a dual meet. Stretched out over 3 days.
The other big portal news was Dean Peterson announces his commitment to Iowa. Another one that had been speculated, or guessed for a couple days, but official. I don't remember if that was Friday or Saturday or what day it went official. Do you like that fit?
Well, they needed a 25, and so if they're not going to get Richie, I mean, he pinned Richie. I don't know if, would you rather have Richie or Dean? I don't know. Seeing the guy that's done it and won the tournament, but he made the decision before Richie even went in the portal. And Jory Volk, Dean Pearson, these are all three pretty close levels of talent and caliber, although very different results. 25 is just a little more. It's a pretty chaotic weight class, but love the fit. I think it's great for Iowa. They're immediately upgraded at 125 pounds, a weight where they needed help, and I think he's got the. I think Dean's going to be a guy that likes an audience and is going to respond well to. I think he's going to respond well to the Brands brothers and the Iowa coaching. I think he's going to love being the man in Iowa. Because if you wrestle in Jersey Mike's and Rutgers, you get that feeling. There's a few places where you actually get that feeling outside of Oklahoma State, Iowa, and Penn State, and certainly Rutgers is one of those. What they do, so I think he likes that. It's a good fit, and 1 year actually makes sense from a lineup scenario with Leo coming in, because if you get, let's say, if it got Jory, I think Jory has multiple years left, right? So then you create the synergy's not quite as there. Dean comes in, Leo redshirts, Dean graduates, insert Leo. Beautiful.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Now you need a 33-pounder because Drake
will be gone.
But that's next year's problems. That's when we solve those.
That's right.
But yeah, great get for the Hawks, for sure.
Do you have... So Richie Figs winning the portal. Yeah. Now, where... Is he leaning? Do you think? Do we know? Do we know when we have a timeline of when he could maybe want to make his decision?
I think we'll know today. We should know today. Everyone else freaking knows. I think the decision's been made, and I think it's obvious at this point. So I think that'll all come out today.
Other portal announcements over the weekend. Those were probably the biggest ones, but you also had Tarakina joining AJ, North Carolina. Zach Redding to NC State.
That's a good
NC State. Yep. Isaac Dean to Iowa State. So that leaves still in the portal guys like TJ Stewart, Ethan Miller, Max Mayfield, Hunter Katka, Brian Soldano, Caleb Ratchie. There's obviously a bunch of other
and
ones.
Lachlan, too. I don't know if you said Lachlan.
Lachlan, McNeil.
A lot of good kids. Still a lot of talent. And I'm curious how many more will enter. I mean, the portal closes May 2nd, I think. So a lot of time still to get in the portal. And I would not be surprised if more big names did jump in. Although it does feel like all the suspects that we thought would jump in have. But there's always surprises around the corner.
Now, I'm wondering... So today is likely the last day that... you can do an NIL deal from a third party over $600, and it doesn't have to go through a third party to get approved as the market value.
Yeah.
A judge in California is expected to make that official today, give their official.
Oh, there you go. Ruling. California. You happy, Tyler? More oversight. This is good.
I am happy, yeah.
As long as the government's involved, it's going to be good.
It's good.
This is big. I know that a lot of coaches, the ones that are like in the know, are like pushing for that because a lot of the guys in the portal don't know this is happening. Yeah. Some of the guys are like, oh, I'm gonna take my time with it. Well, you can.
You might not want to if you want some money.
Because unless you really think you're worth $300,000
now
to wrestle.
What is this third party going to rule is quote unquote market value? The
market is technically whatever anyone is going to pay.
Correct. So theoretically,
if you have an offer, that's the market.
Exactly.
It's the ultimate loophole.
And if they say no, okay, well then I'm going to take you to court and lawyer. You better lawyer up because look, I can make this amount of money, which means that is my value.
That's why I kind of, all this stuff. You guys know I hate talking about most of this, and I think with that's exactly how I feel about. Well, all right, this is gonna get settled in court. I don't see them being able to restrict here.
That's the thing. Does the NCAA want to enforce this?
No.
Like everything has shown that they want to enforce less. rather than more.
Now
So
they're
it's
going to be
like-
looking over, Lachlan McNeil's NIL deal. Although I don't know if he can
Well,
because he's Canadian.
it's a third party.
I know, but it's still somehow it still
Right.
has oversight over an NCAA function.
Now, part of the settlement too is also colleges can directly pay athletes for NIL up to, or it's like they take a percentage of their revenue goes to NIL and they can directly pay, and that all has to be public, on the books stuff,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But you can still make money through your own NIL. It just, if it's over $600, it has to go through a third party and get approved.
Yeah.
Make
for
sure it's not outrageous.
Cool.
Should we get to quickly some international stuff? You mentioned Otoguro retired over the weekend.
He did. That's kind of young.
Japanese legend.
Not
Yeah.
that old. Was he 25?
26. It's a great age to retire at.
Yeah. Good gig if you can
I
get
would
it.
love to retire right. I said exactly how old
Yeah.
I am. That'd be nice.
You'd like to retire and never work again?
With you.
He has been in the game for a while, though. I mean, it's not a.
He won Worlds in 2018.
Yeah, right. So that's a lengthy senior level career.
Yeah.
When we were in Iowa for Lee Ono, Spencer, I guess, was talking about how they were supposed to wrestle each other at like a junior worlds or something. And then they went on this whole thing. And then talking to was like, if we were the same weight, rivals. But now different weights, friends.
That's very true. No, so that's significant and kind of makes it uncrowd 65 slightly for our friend Masa Ono if he wants to go up. I don't think he will.
This
But
year.
This year, no.
Well, it doesn't Kyuka's still there.
Yeah, that's
So,
the
the
crowding.
reigning Olympic champion.
That's the crowding.
yeah.
Yeah, he beat him pretty good.
Broccoli head.
What? Oh,
They wrestled to make the Olympic team at 65, and Kyuka laced him up, right?
yes.
So
Yes.
like, it's hard to say. It's hard to know exactly. With a lace like that, it's like, yes,
Yeah.
like, did he get caught, or like will he do that to him every single time? You got to watch him
Unlikely,
wrestle
yeah.
more than once to really know the answer to that.
True.
Euros started today. The first half of the weights, nothing too crazy or interesting, other than Muskayev lost, the people's champ.
I think we're on the back nine.
Well, he also lost to world champion Baev,
I
David
know.
Baev.
That guy's been gone. Where's he been?
He tried to make 65 in
Too big.
2021, and then he tried to make 74.
Well, he's at 65 now.
Oh,
no,
really?
he's at 70.
He's at 70.
Oh,
yeah,
70.
70. Yeah, he tried to make 74 2024.
Musakayev at 70. That's a joke.
Yeah, he's
That guy's.
he's small.
If I hear he's in the tournament at 70, he ain't there to win. He's a tourist. No, I have no issues with it.
Former 57, Musakayev?
Yes.
Come on. 70s is a deal weight class. What are you talking about?
Yeah, 20 pounds higher. 30 actually. 30 pounds higher. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Colin Rubuto lost, too.
Oh, okay.
But the big bracket there is 74 kilograms, which gets started tomorrow.
No
And
Sadulaev.
no Sadie cakes.
Visa. This is an issue.
It's been an issue.
Is he gonna be able to get into Croatia?
I'm not sure on the
need Spain.
diplomatic
yeah,
We need Spain on
relations
that.
between Russia.
Pull up the chat and
in
have
Croatia.
Spay. I'll read Spay's response on if Croatia will be easier or harder for him to get into.
If Spay responds, then I will pull it up.
All right, because this is important. Right
Now,
Well, Spay's
also-
not saying anything. What do you
I
want
also
to
have
see?
to imagine UWW will maybe pull a little bit of weight for World Championships more than Euros, because
yeah,
remember
maybe.
he couldn't get into Albania for Euros and then
Oh,
did
that's
for
right.
World Championships.
He's like, okay, it's fine. Yeah, that's true.
So
Let's hope.
I'm not too concerned about a World Championship, but
Am I crazy, John? Mm-hmm. Or were we worried that he was going to get in like while we were in Albania at Worlds? Were we talking about this or no? Am I just imagining that we were like, is he going to get in?
I don't remember. I remember
Maybe not.
It was more of Iran.
Iran.
was the question
Okay.
whether or not they were gonna get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But no, JD mentioned 74, but he didn't say who's there.
Sidakov, Valiev, Big Salk.
Big Salk, yeah. Sidakov's going to wrestle Big Salk round 2. So, be a good one.
Let's give a Cleveland State update.
Okay.
It was passed in the Ohio legislation. They set aside $1.6 million.
It was passed?
I'm not sure if it's passed yet, but it has been proposed by legislation that $1.6 million to save the men's program and start a women's program. So I don't think it's official yet, but that is good news for Cleveland State Wrestling that government in Ohio is trying to do something.
Yeah.
Get them some money.
Slovakia was a surprise. They're normally one of the most pro-Russia countries, says Spey. This is a bad sign for visas. Delete that. Block him from the chat.
Okay. Spay, you're in 24-hour timeout.
Thank you. Thank you.
But what about Croatia?
It's ridiculous.
Andrew?
Well, he would say
Croatia can't be pro-Russia, I would think.
he can't be more pro-Russia
Than Slovakia.
I think he's saying it's a bad sign, yeah.
It's a bad
Okay.
sign. Okay. Bad sign.
Bad sign.
Love a good bad sign. Dang it. I hate war. Let me be the first to say.
Condemn. Let me be the first to condemn war.
First wrestling podcast
War.
to say.
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Continuing freestyle talk. U.S. Open entries heated up big time
Yeah, they're getting
since the last
sassy.
show. Who's in, Kozak?
U20s are crazy also.
U20s, the brackets are just insane. They are so huge. There's
Don't
over
be thick.
there's over 100 wrestlers at 57 in U20s, and there's just like 115 at 65. So we'll talk about that. Seniors is still, we're still waiting for some of the big hitters to
Stealing
to
some of
come
the
in.
junior talent.
Yeah, seniors. So 61 is really good. We got Marcus Blaze.
Oh my gosh.
We got Dayton Fix, Sean Garrett, Seth Gross, Austin DeSanto, Nick Bouzakis, Ben Davino. So, I mean, those are probably like the big boys.
And we haven't
right?
heard officially. We're waiting to hear Vito's word. Is he accepting? It is assumed he
I would
will.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sitting in Final X if he does.
How healthy is he?
Mm-hmm.
I know that I think there's still lingering things there.
It's the date, I can't remember, but it's like April 14th or something like that
Yes. Right before
By, like-
taxes.
Yep.
by 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Have you guys all done your
I
taxes?
can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
What are taxes?
All right. He's exempt. JD's exempt.
But I mean, are you picking Marcus Blaze here? He beat Dayton Fix last year, beat Sean Garrett. He beat Seth Gross too.
Yes.
So, I mean, Marcus Blaze, senior in high school, I think you got to say he's the man to beat.
It feels like that's true. He had to come from behind against both Seth and Dayton, but that's like a thing he does. He is really good tactically late. It's not a coincidence when you win all these matches with like 30 seconds to go. It's very like Russian, European of them because they all have like one chambered for those last 30 seconds that they can get. So there's like on the one hand, there's like the replicability factor. How much does it make sense that he's gonna be able to do that again? On the other hand, he's a senior in high school. He's like 18, 19 years old.
18, yeah.
He's 18. So is he going to get better? I mean, obviously. So I think he'd be my pick right now to make it to Final X. So
How do you feel about guys who are still junior eligible like him doing seniors?
I love it. I think especially someone like Marcus is already qualified for
World team trials.
on so you can try because Marcus needs to do seniors at the Open because that's the only opportunity to make Final X.
Assuming
Right.
Vito takes it.
Right, assuming Vito takes it. Whereas like in other weight classes, like 65, you could wait till World Team Trials if you wanted. Because that's what Bo's doing, right? Bo Bassett is doing juniors at the Open, and then he wants to make Final X, so he could go 65 for the World Team Trials senior level.
So you should probably tell listeners
They don't know what I'm talking about?
well, like just the
Process?
The process.
The process. Okay. So at 57, Spencer Lee will have a bye to the finals if he chooses it in Final X. That means the only way to get to Final X is to win the U.S. Open. 61, same thing with Vito. 74, same thing with Dake if he takes it. And Aaron Brooks is moving up, so he will not. And David Taylor is retired, so he will not. So it's just those 3 weights that are really in contention.
Do we know what weight Aaron Brooks is moving up to?
I think he's going 97.
You think or you know?
Okay, he's going. What? The things I know and the things I can. I think he's going 97.
We're just talking amongst friends. We just want to hear.
This is a cone of silence.
He's going. All right, don't tell anyone.
It's not going to get
he's
out.
going 97.
Now, so if he is, you got to think him and Snyder will split the U.S. Open and World Team Trials, right? So they only have to hit at Final X.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. But who gets the U.S. Open spot and who gets the World Team Trials spot?
I think we see Snyder at the U.S. Open.
Not like it really matters for someone on their level, but theoretically, if the field was super deep and competitive, you would be like, I want to go to the U.S. Open in case I do not win. I need that second crack at the World Team Trials. But for someone on their level, like
They're
Not
kind of
just-
the runaway favorites.
But not just their level, just the 97 has been like a Kyle Snyder and just like everyone else kind of
Not even
Yeah.
close.
not even close.
Yeah.
Like on your worst day, Kyle's making the team, right? Now it's not going to be that way. It's going to be harder for him. But same for Aaron Brooks. It feels like unlikely. And I think Aaron needs, he will benefit from the extra weeks he will get from April to May.
of recovery and building up to.
Yep.
Do we know if he's
97?
back on the
Actually-
mat? Is he doing
But
okay?
he doesn't really need to build up to 97. He is 97.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I believe so, but he's getting there.
Cool.
Any other U.S. Open entries you want to hype up, or should we get to questions?
I think 65 is fun just because it's kind of wide open. Zane was the rep last year, and he's never going 65 again. So people that are registered, you got Jesse Mendez, Joey McKenna, Real Woods, Aiden Valencia. You got to think Bo Bartlett's going to register. Nick Lee said he was going to compete again.
He did.
So I think, I don't know, it's like up in the air. Who do you think is the favorite to win the 65 World Team spot?
Bo Bassett.
No, Nick Lee has been
really.
It'll
been the guy,
He'll
yeah.
be tougher to pick against. He made the finals last year.
Yeah.
He was the guy the year before. Yanni's up. Zane's up. He did lose in 2022 to Evan Henderson, but domestically he's been pretty freaking good.
Yeah. And then I think 70 kilos is also worth talking about. Your boy PJ Duke,
Duke Mafia.
He's not entered yet. Nobody from Penn State has entered.
There's no rush
Yeah.
to enter.
So Yanni, the return of Yanni.
Marcus Blaze is entered.
Yeah, but he's still listed under Perrysburg.
Same for PJ.
Yeah, same with PJ Duke.
Page.
Okay, that's fine. So Yanni, James Green, Alec Pantelio, Caleb Larkin,
Yes.
Bryce Andonian, Will Luan, Brayton Lee's back, Jackson Arrington. So yeah, I think 70 is one of the more fun weights too. Nobody's sitting out to Final X. Yanni coming back up at 70, I think is really interesting. And then if you throw somebody in there like PJ Duke, and then you got Caleb Larkin, who we saw last year at 65, is really dangerous. So super fun weight.
Very fun. Excited to see Larkin back on the mat. Really excited to see Yanni. Didn't know if we would see him this year, so it's cool that he's registered.
Also, want to mention women's freestyle side. Kennedy Blades registered at 68. We saw her at 68 internationally a while ago. Looked really good. And then Kylie Welker at 76, along with McQuaid, which would pave the way for a meet to go 72, giving us a back end lineup of Kennedy at 68, a meet at 72, and then Welker McQuaid at 76.
Yeah, I think on the women's side, Coach Steiner does a good job of getting the right pieces in the right spots, and it feels like this is a great arrangement. And I would feel the same if a meet went 76 and Kylie and Yelena were 70. I would feel as confident.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I want them to wrestle.
I know.
And then okay, you won Final X. Now you get the 72 or 76 or 68 spot. You know, just like I'm kind of happy Aaron Brooks and Kyle Snyder are likely going to wrestle 97. But you are sad that means one of them is not on the team.
Yes, it does. That'll be a crazy thing. But yeah, I would love to see all three of those ladies square off, but not this year. Maybe one year.
All right, Tyler, hit us with some questions.
All right, first one's from Dino Ty Collins. He said, this is just a feeling. This guy, again, another shout out, always leaving positive comments on YouTube.
Good vibes, guys.
This is just a feeling, but I want to see if any of you share the sentiment. I don't feel like Zach Ryder would have transferred from Penn State if Coach DT and Oklahoma State weren't an option. I think DT potentially provides an alternative to Penn State on a level no other school reaches.
Whether it's reality or just perception, I think this is true. Right, I think people do believe that, and I think David has even said, like, people felt like you had to go to Penn State to be, to get that level of training. Now that narrative is shifting, right? Now, whether, again, what I say, that's the belief. Whether it's true or not, it still remains to be seen. The early returns are very positive that.
Hamity beats Haynes.
Hamity beats Haynes. Wyatt beats,
yeah.
I mean, and then just, to go from 10th last year to 3rd this year in a really good tournament, getting a bunch of dudes that were off the podium, on the podium, and on top. That's great early returns. But yeah, I think this is true. Now, maybe would he? I don't know though. Would he have gone somewhere else? Maybe, but
would he have gone to Oklahoma State?
No.
Right.
No way. No way.
It's kind of like perception does become reality. A lot of times, or it can impact reality a little bit. It's kind of like Drake Ayala went on Bash Amania's podcast. It was really good. Give it a listen if you haven't. But he said that as much too. He's like, there's the Iowa perception or whatever, tough guys, no fun. And he goes, that's not the case. That's why we like to get guys on visits here so much, because they have this perception a lot of times of who we are and how we do things. And a lot of times that's just not the case. But he said as much as it can affect recruiting.
Yeah, absolutely it can.
All right, next question. Slink wants to know what's going on with Gilman. Next question.
No, I mean, there's something going on. Absolutely, there's legitimacy to the questions and the issues, and I think there is absolutely potential that he is leaving Oklahoma State. Whether I think that probably reached finality yesterday. Not reporting anything, but the question's there, and I know it's out there. So, yeah, it's legit.
Okay. Next question: who wins more NCAA titles, Bo or PJ Duke?
Dang, I don't know. PJ, he's been healthy the last couple of years, because those are the things you factor in, right? Is he going to be a healthy wrestler throughout his career? And then you also think about who's going to be in the weight. So PJ's got to get in the lineup in the next 2 years, right? And he's going to be at 57 for a little bit, and then 65. Mitch will be gone, but D. Lockett will be there. Man, I don't know. I think it's probably pretty close. I think Bo will maybe be in a more crowded weight.
I think Bo's going to be 49.
I think he could be 41 for a year. I think it'll depend on the lineup. I think he'll be. What will he be year one?
I just feel like 49.
Size-wise, he will be a 41, I think.
You think he'll be 41?
Or 41 would be his ideal weight class.
I think you're right.
He's just not that big.
That's what he is right now.
Yeah, he walks around at 141, 40 to 45 pounds right now, I think, or at least he was during the wrestling season. He's not a big 65 kilogram
So
guy.
if he goes year one, who's in the way? Who's his toughest competition at 141 if he goes?
Marcus Blaze.
Is Blaze a 41? Or Ono, I guess.
Ono. Bud's wrestling freaking 150 in high school. It would stand to reason.
Yeah, but he's wrestling 61 right this year.
International weights are different, though. Because you're not making it
Every week.
6 times
Yeah.
a month or whatever.
So Marcus Blaze, Bo Bassett. And the other question is, what are both of their last folk style losses? Bo Bassett's,
Bo's is Zepeda.
and then what's
Marcus is
is it
PJ's.
Lockett?
Oh wait,
Did D
you're talking
Lockett?
about PJ Duke. Sorry,
Yeah, I think
PJ Duke.
D.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
been
either.
a minute for both of them, right?
Yeah.
So
All right, next question is from our producer. He got in my ear and he said, "Can I ask a question?" I said, "Sure." He slacked it to me. He said, "Is it insulting to call someone buddy?"
Okay, so
or
this
Bud.
Or
Hey,
bud?
Like,
So-
hey Bud.
little background here. This is just the ongoing them messing with me. I'm going back and forth with AJ, getting him on the show, right? It's a little bit of a technical process to do it. And we weren't going to start right, as you know, we didn't start exactly at 10. And he's like, "Hey, start without me." I was like, "No, we'll wait." So I said, "Hey, Bud, it's no problem to wait, blah, 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 blah." And they're like, "Dude, you just called him Bud?" I'm like, "What?" They're like, "How you going to like whatever like that?" And I'm like, "Bud means friend, like pal, like."
I have a
Bro.
really good litmus test for this. Do you call Caleb Bud?
Bud, bro. I call him bro.
But no, would you call him Bud? Like, hey Bud.
Absolutely.
Would you call your dad Bud?
No. What does that have to do with anything?
It's because it's like a tap on the head. Here, a little tap on the head.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey, bud.
It's just a weird thing to call someone. But I call it like Ray was my boss. I would call him Bud.
okay.
Don't try to put me in a Bud
Okay, bud.
corner.
Okay, Bud. Okay,
See, but when you say it like that, that's different. That wasn't my energy I was giving AJ. So it's very different.
Okay.
The chat 59% says it is not insulting to call someone bud.
Absolutely, they're smart people.
Only 73 votes. I'm surprised. Not.
It's all context. How you say
It
that.
is all context. Yeah,
Hey.
I'll read it. I'll
Oh,
read
the
it. Hold
text?
on. Yeah, because he's hold on, AJ Ferrari. I said,
Okay.
hey, I said, "Hey, Bud, we're going to wait for you. It's no big deal to wait a few minutes."
Okay,
Very respectful.
that's respectful.
Talking to him like he's a golden retriever who's about to catch a football. hey, we have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
The Figaro announcement
Okay.
is in.
Oklahoma
Cowboy up.
State.
He's going to Oklahoma State.
There you go.
Good commitment, cowboy.
Good commitment. That's big. So, Oklahoma State, he's going to go 133. A lot of people are talking about this is just it's Bud Radio Live.
Hey, we have this guy here too.
Oh, yeah, turn it around.
There it is.
Where the signs written all over the studio.
We'll circle back to the Bud
Yeah,
talk
we will,
after Richie talks.
So Figs, Oklahoma State. What weight?
33.
Okay.
Yep. Great pickup, obviously, for Oklahoma State. They've got Spratley now. So now they're potential line. Now who knows how they're going to fill this? They got so much talent because they got there's going to be Spratley, Richie. 41's going to be Jameson. Could be Vega. 49 Swiderski. 57 could be Robidoux. Could be Teague Travis. Then 65 Lockett, Facundo, Zach Ryder or Thompson. 97 Merrill, and then Connor Doucette at heavyweight. It's a really good team. So yeah, pretty crazy. Good get. I mean, I'm sure for Richie, he's got to be excited about it. I am curious how he looks up at 133. I would love to see him wrestle a little 61 freestyle, just kind of see where he's at size wise. But I think his style will translate well up.
Yeah. JD, you did the early lineup look for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, before
Yeah.
Richie went in the portal.
But like going through it, what would you project like that team to score at NCAAs or like?
I mean, we're looking at like a second, third place team.
Yeah.
Maybe not second. Iowa's going to have a really good lineup
Yeah.
next year, but third, fourth, fifth place team, because like Christian ran down, and they're going to, theoretically, if Richie is very good, not that 33 as a whole, they had J.J. McComas there. Who,
Well, they didn't qualify it, right?
yeah, Reese didn't qualify. So,
JJ's an unknown. Like, I don't know what his wrestle stat. I'm not sure how much he wrestled this year.
he lost. He was like 10-2 this year. Lost to Jake Craps from Missouri and somebody else, like an Iowa State backup or something like that. So he didn't have a great redshirt year that gives you a whole lot of confidence heading in. Like, yes, this is going to be a All-American type guy year one. But he was a high recruit. But clearly, if they went after Richie, they think, he's not quite ready
Well,
yet.
I mean, it's just like it's a national champion.
True, like you want him on your roster whether you went after him or not. If he comes knocking, you don't shut the door.
Yeah, and so ends the long speculated departure of Richie from Arizona State. It's been from last year to throughout this year. It was speculated that he was going to eventually transfer. The thought was Iowa, the rumor mill exclusively, but Oklahoma State it is.
Nobody hates the Portal more than Zeke Jones, probably.
Bro, I feel for him. That's tough.
Right?
I mean, these guys wrestled well for, and they've produced, Arizona State, multiple trophy winning team. Like they're not just, they don't just get isolated guys on the podium. They've got a lot of guys on the podium, high on the podium. Richie won a national title there. Zahid won a couple, and then you got Ja'Cory Teamer was in the finals. Kyle Parko, multiple All-American. Colton Schultz, 5-time All-American now. Pretty crazy.
Do you think losing the Martori funding is like the
Absolutely
biggest catalyst? Or?
Of course.
Yeah.
Very big part of it.
Now, Richie should only have 1 year left, correct?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is there any chance they get him another year from the year that he lost because he was behind Courtney? Because he did not wrestle
After Vegas.
postseason.
Right.
And so the
Medical, baby.
Yeah, the Tyler Brennan clause does not apply here.
Oh, my.
Could they get him for 2 years?
Look, I'm sitting between you two.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll lose my year of eligibility.
He wrestled
Vegas was his last match.
Yeah, but he wrestled a lot of matches that year.
But I think it's by like how far into the season you go is part of it.
14 matches.
It don't matter.
14 matches, that's like a lot.
There is a lot of talk about them going like 5 for 5, like 5 years, and then I don't know if you get grandfathered in or how that would work. But that's not just like Twitter talk. That's like high level coaches are like, no, we think this could happen.
Just straight up 5 years.
5
no
years.
red shirt?
Nope, no more
Okay.
red shirts.
I like that.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, that's big.
Okay.
Big time for Oklahoma State. They're gonna be nasty next year. Nasty.
Are we still doing questions?
Yeah, we can go to Bud Talk or whatever.
You want to do Bud Talk Radio Live?
Did anybody call Richie Bud in his
No, Big Dog.
comments?
Big Dog?
Chase Saldate called him Big Dog.
yeah.
Saldate did call him Big Dog.
That's kind of in that same.
Oh, no way.
Not since the Tiger Woods meme. Big dog.
Space said something. I think Space said Big Dog condescending. So
there you go. Chase and Richie got heat. All right, we can go back to the.
all right. Virginia's for FRL wants to know who is the best transfer to date? Mitchell, Wyatt.
Whoa.
Define best, like what it does for your program.
Just the best
impact.
overall person.
Yeah.
I mean, so far probably Mitchell, and the fact that he has 2 years left.
Did David Taylor ever go to Iowa State?
No,
He
signed and he had to be released from it. So but he wasn't. I don't think officially a transfer.
Mako?
Well, yeah,
Hodge.
He won 2.
Yeah.
Wyatt won the Hodge.
Well, yeah.
Chelsea won a Hodge.
Brent Metcalf was a good transfer.
Yeah.
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 Remember that guy? I mean, it will ultimately be Mitchell. This says to date, but the guy's gonna very likely win, or we'll say at minimum make 4 NCAA finals.
Yeah.
Feels like barring bad injury or something.
AJ Ferrari.
Yeah,
Four-time potential NCAA champion AJ Ferrari.
I don't understand how he gets another year.
Dude,
It's pretty
he gets-
simple. It's pretty simple how he could.
He can get 3 years.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
I think he's gonna get 2.
So 2 more years.
Yes.
Okay.
So potential 3-time champion.
but I'm
Potential
There is a
4-time.
chance.
he thinks he's going to get 3 more.
Medical, Regular red shirt.
How many matches?
Olympic red
Olympic
shirt.
for 2024 is the key.
Yeah.
So you guys were just saying
the
that
main
Richie
thing-
Figueroa could get that season back with 14 matches.
But look, he wrestled into like January
January.
or February.
January 23rd.
So he wrestled way further into the season on the car
But
crash.
he had a
But he only had
very
10
public
matches.
injury.
Oh, yeah, he was injured.
Yeah.
He only had 10 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Does going into the season really matter that much more than the actual
thought
number
it
of
was
matches?
Also,
Yeah.
wasn't that was 2020? Was that two?
2. Yeah.
The only reason I ask is because I remember this is the only information I'm basing this off. I watched the Jordan Burroughs documentary that Flo did from like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
And he talked about how he missed a competition date because like he had to go see his dad or his grandpa or something, and not wrestling that match was the difference between getting the medical red shirt
Yeah,
or
it's
not.
way different
They
now.
used to do it on like percentage of total matches like that you missed in the season. Like you wrestled 10 of 20 dates or
Right.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different world now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, now it's just Oprah throwing
Someone
out.
just
You get a
texted me
red
that
shirt.
Rocky
You get a red
Elam's
shirt.
in the portal.
People
I
have been
just
chatting that.
asked, and he's not in yet.
He's not in yet. Is he in as a mixed wrestler?
I don't know. That's unknown.
Tell your people, check mixed wrestling.
Okay.
Next question.
Yeah.
All right, Rational PSU Fan 92 wants to know which Ferrari will have the best college career.
I don't want to do this.
Okay. Next question. Jason Rocker said, why did JD's Oklahoma State lineup preview not have any mention of Braden Thompson? Anything to read into
Yeah,
there?
that's crazy.
Well,
should
they
definitely be
got
mentioned.
Zach Ryder.
You should definitely mention him.
Okay,
He's an
okay.
NCAA
He's an
qualifier.
Okay.
So who's number
It's an
one
option.
participant?
It was kind of just like a. Here's who I think is going to be the starting lineup.
Oh. You didn't mention any. Well, the depth thing is helpful.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I
dude.
did at other weights too, where I wasn't as clear, like at 41, 49, 57.
We should have asked AJ this question. Can AJ beat his dad in arm wrestling? I bet it's close.
I bet it's a situation
Old man
like
Ferrari
like,
lifts. Come
I-
on.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a situation with you and JD. Like JD's beating you very badly in things, and you think you're way smaller than him when
Yeah.
actually you're bigger. So like old man Ferrari is going to have that
Okay.
that psychological advantage.
Okay.
Maybe not the physical strength. Also, his dad
bigger.
is a big
He's
dude.
huge.
He's
just
so
a big dude.
big.
Yeah. So
Anybody puts up big boy weight.
Let me see if I can find a picture of old man Ferrari lifts. Our producer is curious.
he's a big dude.
Stall for
dog.
me while I look up a photo of him.
Yeah, put up the bud chats. I wanted to see what the people were saying.
Okay, wait, hold on. Here we go. This is old man Ferrari lifts right here.
Yeah, but he's like tall.
525. How many times is he doing that?
525 times 8 on conventional barbell
Dude,
deadlift.
this is easy. He's
Italian music in the background, keeping him going.
literally a warm-up set.
I don't know. I think he might be beating AJ in arm wrestling. But AJ needs to come on back on the show and defend his honor.
Yeah.
Next question.
I'm just gonna text and ask AJ right now if he can do it. We'll see what he says. I'm gonna,
people
and you know what
want
I'm gonna say?
Hey, bud.
You know what? The person that
Say, "Hey, bud."
the person that texted me about Elam said, "Hey, buddy, Elam in the portal." So
He's big dogging you.
No, he's listening
He's
right
big
now.
dogging you.
No, we're buddies.
No, he's big dogging you.
Yeah.
They keep saying that people are hoeing me. I've never even heard that
another
till
way to put
today.
it.
Now they just keep saying it.
Oh, man.
All right, stall for me while I ask AJ.
Okay, next question is who's the next big coach going into the transfer portal? Is that not really happening this offseason?
Coaches don't go in the transfer portal.
I think
but,
it's a metaphor.
Got it. I think it's going to be a slower.
Well,
I don't think there's any head coaches in the
head, but
Yeah, well,
there's the rumors with Gilman
Yeah.
potentially
That
leaving.
would-
That would
that-
be huge.
That'd be big.
and then who would
Who would go to Oklahoma State?
That's bigger news than 95% of head coaching positions.
Okay. Next question is from David Taymidov. He said, why can't NIL deals be a multi-year deal with buyouts? For example, in this pretend NIL world, if Arkansas Little Rock produces a Frosh national champion on a 4-year, $200K deal, for Iowa to sign the camp, they would have to pay the Little Rock NIL collective $150K. This seems like a better way to do it.
go for it?
Yeah, do
Okay.
it.
Yep. Go,
Do it.
lock that in, Dave.
All right. I don't have any more questions queued up.
That's it.
Let me see.
That's a light.
A lot of people asking about Gilman.
Okay.
Nothing. Okay, here we go. We got a question from the real Avery Lynch. A roundtable question. He said, this is a roundtable question. Would you rather fight 10 toddlers or 1 gorilla?
What?
I'll go first. 10 toddlers, easy
Well,
answer.
yeah.
You got to up that number.
Yeah, it has to be like 1,000.
I think I would always rather fight the toddlers than a gorilla.
I don't want to fight a toddler.
Gorillas are kind of scaredy cats, though.
I told you that. Gorillas
Yeah.
are not about it. Gorillas won't fight.
I would rather fight a gorilla than a chimpanzee.
You would, yeah.
Oh,
And and they're stronger. Gorillas are stronger.
But they're kind of like you.
You can kinda
where
scare 'em
you're,
off.
You're scared of JD.
Well, the other side of this question, though, is you'd probably need less counseling afterwards if you fought a gorilla.
Bro,
you
fighting
know?
a toddler? That's just
That'd be
crazy.
hard to live with yourself.
If it's maybe let's just call it like a survival thing. Like I just need to survive 10 toddlers.
I thought you meant like counsel, like a lawyer.
no.
Either.
You're gonna need
You would also need counsel.
You'd be
Yeah.
psychologically damaged. This is horrible. Avery hasn't even done his taxes yet, he said. He said last day.
I'm not seeing.
Do you think you could punch a gorilla? Would it run away or would it fight back?
I don't think you want to. I don't think you want to be the
The aggressor.
aggressor.
Don't
with
let
the
me get a
gorilla.
gorilla's back.
Or maybe
That's
you
all I'm
do.
saying.
Maybe you do want to be.
Bo Nickel.
Maybe you do want to be the aggressor.
I don't know.
Like if you're in a cage, like a small cage the size of the studio, 1-on-1 with the gorilla, and only one can leave.
I don't
only
want
one
that.
can leave.
You're dead.
That's the scenario.
Okay, well I'm thinking like
It's not just living in the same like world as.
why
one.
not? This is
No, the thing is they want to kill you, or else toddlers aren't trying to kill you. Just be pooping and stuff.
Yeah.
People are asking about Jordan Oliver. He apparently tweeted about expressing interest in coaching.
he has been tweeting that since David got the job initially.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he would love
People
to
are
go back.
saying, is he a good lightweight coach fit? I don't know if he's a lightweight anymore.
He's small. Do you need a lightweight coach at Oklahoma State? Do you? Is it a nice to have or is it a must have?
Well, you have Jimmy Kennedy.
Hey, he's middle. He's 150.
He's probably smaller than Jo right now.
No, I don't think so.
No,
J.O.'s lean.
doesn't Jo get up to like 180?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I saw him at the trials. I don't think he gets
Only when he was making 133 pounds.
Yeah, that's just kind of a weird thing. I don't think he gets that big right now. I mean, when I talked to him at World Team Trials, he was strongly considering wrestling 65. I wouldn't be surprised. And standing next to him, say that, but he was not that big. But my point being here is,
Christian loves talking about how he's taller than all these wrestlers.
I don't know if I'm taller than Jordan. That's not what I'm saying. It's like, you can eyeball someone up close. Because like, you look at the 25 pounders, they all look huge on the camera, right? And then you get up and like, oh, wow, you are literally not up to my shoulders, sir.
According to ESPN, Jordan Oliver is 5'6", so he's taller than you.
He's not if he's 5'6". I think he's taller than 5'6".
You're 5'5".
I am not. I hate that you do this.
It's great height.
Because
That's a man's height right
you
there.
just lie. I'm not tall. I've always been the short guy. In these parts, I'm actually not that short, but I am, I'm 5'7", 5'8".
That's
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Yeah, right. Liar. My point, I guess I was trying to make a point.
Jordan Oliver
They
is a
got
lightweight.
they got Roman. They have plenty of lightweight bodies that the lightweights can wrestle with, because that's a big part of it. Like just having a good training partner. You're going to have that at Oklahoma State. So maybe it's more about coaching personality fit than how small are you, right? I think that's probably what they'll look at if he's gone.
Okay. Next question is from Zev Posts. He wants to know, you can start or bring back 5 college wrestling programs. Who are you going with? He gave his own top 5. He said Fresno State, Alabama, Texas, Boise State, Notre Dame. Shut up.
He caught himself, but put it in the doc.
Notre Dame.
Texas would be awesome because it's right here.
Yeah.
What other ones would I want back? Let's think.
you got to just pick the big name brands like Georgia.
There was someone who worked at Flow who sent us like a fake press release for April Fool's Day, talking about how University of Texas was starting a program, and it got a couple of us. We were like, is this actually happening?
Including you.
Including me.
It got me for like 5 minutes.
It got Bray, and the press release had a quote from Bray. He didn't read the whole thing. He was like, what, is this real?
Yeah.
It would have got you if we didn't get got first.
No.
Yeah.
I know there's absolutely no chance that was happening. And also, I have a April as easily tricked as I am, and it's easy.
You thought AJ was going to Penn State?
No, I did not. I just didn't know what to do because I was being run through a bit. You know, I was like, all right, what do I do? Do I say no, you're not? I know that you're not, or do I? I'm not gonna challenge him. You know, I let it play out.
Okay, dude. Okay, bud.
I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, around April Fools, I'm sort of ready for it. And I get my mind right, so I didn't get tricked that time. But I'm very trickable.
Okay. I'm not really seeing very many more questions.
You didn't pick schools.
Oh yeah, I just did Texas.
Oh yeah,
Texas.
Texas is like worth 5. What
Old
else?
Dominion.
Old Dominion.
that's your alma mater.
Probably that would be cool.
Did you cancel the wrestling program there?
Absolutely not. JMU, bring that one back.
Why would you
James Madison.
take JMU over like a big name brand?
It's my list. Make your own list.
I feel like
I'm trying to do what's best for the sport, man.
Yeah, I feel like I would make like an SEC top 5, like
Georgia,
give them
LSU,
give them a bunch of programs.
Texas.
No, toxic.
Or give USC and UCLA some programs now that they're in the Big Ten.
Oh yeah, California. Don't California my
The Big
wrestling.
Ten doesn't have enough wrestling programs.
I want California to be better.
Yeah, honestly, I mean Boise State should be back. That was sad. I would probably move some more to the west.
Oregon.
Oregon would be big.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. Oregon State-Oregon rivalry.
And one in the south. So I did a little Pacific. Would it be Florida? What would be the best? Florida.
Give Washington one because they're in the Big Ten as well.
Georgia Tech, very good school. Georgia's emerging high school wrestling state.
I would probably just pick Georgia over Georgia Tech, but
No. Georgia Tech.
All right. People want to know like if the 30-man roster cap is like actually being enacted and what those guys will do if they get kicked off their team.
Good question. I believe that goes up until like first day of practice. Like so there will be like
I thought it was first day of competition.
maybe it's that. I think like official practice.
Official practice, which is always like October 10th or something like that, or 11th.
So they'll do their preseason. They'll use that to pare down the team. And what it means, I mean, you could still be a student there and all that. Maybe you get moved to like a RTC. I think we're going to see a lot of creativity with this, but there is a kind of a hard and fast line. And I do believe, could be wrong, this is just guys talking. I think it can be like, oh, this guy's off the team and you can slide someone in.
That's what Scotty Sentez said.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
It's not just guys talking anymore.
Have him, ready to go at the RTC program there. And if, hey, I tore my ACL, I'm out for the year. Ooh, got a new roster spot. Because I think, again, this is just what I believe, Bud Talk Radio Live, between Buds, that if you're on scholarship, it can't be taken away if you get kicked off the team that year.
Unless you did something.
Right.
bad.
But if it's for a roster cup, I think I heard that, but I don't know if that's true 100%. But although most guys who are not in the top 30 probably are not on that much scholarship. Anyway, but maybe.
The person that told me about Elam and called me buddy, he said, "We are buds. I'm listening to you. I'm not hoeing you." So I'm not getting hoed.
A lot of people are saying they want Clemson to have a program.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Last question is: will RevShare have the same requirements for NIL as NIL for deal approval? If not, will we see RevShare being used for deals likely above market value for sports like wrestling, and NIL being used for sports like football, where a higher market value is likely justifiable?
Yep.
Can you justify RevShare with wrestling if no one's actually making money?
What rev are we sharing here, boys?
Wrestling's not going to get any rev share.
Yeah,
we're
rev
They
take.
might, so they might get more scholarships, like some of the programs.
You could have up to 30 scholarships.
So I think Kale did talk about like, yeah, we're gonna get
More.
We're gonna get more, but he's like, we're not getting 30.
Yeah, not close to 30, I think he said.
Yeah. So I think that'll be probably the only thing we see from the new rules is there'll be a couple teams that will have a little more scholarship money to play with.
It's just more tools for Kale to use is the way I think of things like that. It usually works out well for him.
All right, that's it.
All right, buds. Good show.
A lot of Minecraft movie talk. You guys see the Minecraft movie?
Actually, Caleb saw it with his bud.
I haven't seen it.
He said it was boring.
I heard it was really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He normally
Which sucks because I love Jack Black.
he really likes movies. Like he's a movie. I don't watch movies really if I can help it. But he's like,
What? Wait, what? No, I didn't know that.
I don't like watching.
If you can
movies.
help it, what does that mean?
Well, sometimes it's like, hey, we're going as a family to watch this movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh,
Airbud?
Jaws.
Jaws?
Jaws
Is it really?
could be Jaws. Absolutely.
That's
Because
good
you
movie.
haven't seen a movie since 1972.
That was the
or
last
whenever
movie
that
I
came out.
saw. No, that's a great movie. I love a few good men is one of my favorite movies. Jurassic Park, great movie. I love. Sometimes I just be watching. This is a documentary though. I don't know if it counts, but
Last Dance.
no, that's a separate thing. But I'm talking like a feature length thing. The Jim Carrey documentary about when he played Andy Kaufman on Netflix.
Oh yeah, what's it called?
I don't recall. It is the best. It is an amazing one.
It's called Jim and Andy: The Great Beyond.
Yes. Yes, incredible. Very inspiring to me.
Doesn't he go insane?
Yeah.
That's inspiring you? Christian aspires to go insane one day.
No, I don't know if I want to say why.
Okay.
It just does. I loved it. What other great movies? Oh, another one I watched. What's the frick? Oh, Zero Dark 30. That's a good one.
Never saw it.
We got him, boys.
Yeah, it's fine.
So that's it. What's everyone's favorite movies? Well, it's a little movie chat.
Django Unchained. Big
So
Tarantino
good.
guy.
Really?
I love Slumdog Millionaire.
I haven't seen that.
It's a good movie.
I love The Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah.
I also love
First one.
Parasite, the Korean one that came out a couple years ago.
I heard that was really good. I
Super
didn't
good.
see it. But yeah, I like shows.
Okay.
I love watching shows.
Well, a lot of shows are movie quality these days.
Exactly. That's how I feel. I feel like this is the quality of a movie with the film, exactly.
Shrek
With a better story.
could be best.
I can't remember. I haven't seen many
Kung
of
Fu
the
Panda.
Shreks.
That's a good Jack Black fic.
Fick?
Flick. I was just throwing that one in there. That's really not on Shrek territory, but
It's not?
No.
No.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
My favorite movie as a kid was probably Three Ninjas,
Oh,
which inspired
Great
like
movie.
what theme
Yeah.
park did they go to? Was it Magic Mountain?
I don't.
Or was it
It does sound right. I don't remember,
Three Ninjas?
but I thought that movie was so good. And then
Well,
me
there's
and
like multiple of them.
I only saw the
The
first
original.
one.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Rocky Colt and
that
Tum Tum.
series had me like fully delusional as a child though. Like I would sit in class fantasizing about like if bad guys attacked and me just like I would save the day. I would beat them all up.
Like Mark Wahlberg.
I would get pistol whipped and like if I was a child, I can't fight
true.
these guys. It inspires like delusions of grandeur.
What if there was
in
1,000
children.
of you?
it's
Yeah.
just- I mean,
That's what you're supposed to do as a kid, though.
Yeah.
You're supposed to dream about
I would have
that.
been fully charging men with guns as a child
you
because I
didn't.
watched those movies. Luckily, I never encountered men with guns.
Yeah. In California, that's tough.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they're not legal there. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, me and my brothers. There's three of us, three boys. So we would do Three Ninjas against my dad,
Okay.
and he would just beat us up. 'Cause he was way too strong. But we were Rocky Colt and Tum Tum.
Okay.
Old Man Piles lives.
Bro, this dude is so strong. He never wrestled or anything. And my brother was like good. And when my brother was in high school, my dad like just pinned my brother, like knowing nothing. It was kind of an eye-opening moment. The power that maybe one day I would possess, but I don't know. I'm 40. I don't know if I'm there. Anyway,
Okay.
Old Man Piles lifts. He never lifted, just works outside. Should we go?
Yeah.
All right, buddies. Let me see. Let me check my phone one last time to see if AJ got back with me. He may be doing the. Hold on.
He's still doing
Yes.
it.
Oh wait, I have an answer from AJ Ferrari. Stop the
Okay.
music. He said, "LOL." Answer: definitely not my dad. AJ Ferrari Sr. is one of the best arm wrestlers on earth.
Yes.
He is a GOAT in arm wrestling and a GOAT in life.
Amen.
Wow.
So I think we were right there.
Okay.
You know, that was our read. That AJ is not ready to take on Old Man Ferrari in lifts or arm wrestling. And he's a goated arm wrestler.
There you go.
So there you have it. And we leave it with that last
Wait,
little...
here's a side by side. I should have pulled this up earlier.
Dang. Whew. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, he's not ready for that. Maybe one day, AJ, but not today. Good humility from AJ Ferrari. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Congrats to Old Man Ferrari Lifts, one of the great goats in arm wrestling. We'll be back Thursday. Who knows what's going to be, what we'll be talking about? There is literally no telling. U.S. Open, transfer portal, coaching, yeah, take your pick. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For Tyler, Kozak, JD, and our producer, Nikki, number one hoe. We'll be back Thursday. See ya.